At authorsbroadcast.com, we produce and display book video trailers, short 1 or 2 minute videos that help prospective readers learn more about a specific new book. In this episode of Authors Showcase, we're going to take a look at a number of book trailers and meet a few authors we encountered at various events. Have a paper and pencil handy to jot down the title of any books that may look interesting to you. And be sure to visit authorsbroadcast.com to learn about the books shown here and more. The healing powers of coffee is percolating with information about the world's favorite new health food. This personable, reader-friendly, revolutionary book includes interviews with medical doctors, researchers, and coffee roasters who reveal the amazing healing powers of the delicious brew, served up with a lively jolt of past and present coffee culture. The path to better health and well-being is right under your nose. Whether you prefer regular decaf or flavored coffees, recent studies have shown that coffee's magical beans can reduce your risk of cancer, heart disease, and diabetes, as well as help you slim down and shape up. Wake up and smell the coffee, then serve yourself a steaming cup of comfort, filled with more antioxidants than tea or cocoa, and even more than renowned antioxidant-rich blueberries or oranges. In the healing powers of coffee, you'll find the author's exclusive, eye-opening, warm and witty real-life stories, more than 50 home cures that fight brain fog, fatigue, headache, jet lag, low libido, moodiness, muscle pain, and stress. Plus, beauty and anti-aging treatments and eco-friendly household uses. Find out why this ancient elixir has gone from vice to virtue, and how to incorporate coffee in Mediterranean-style healthful recipes like cappuccino biscotti, coffee chili, Java-style stuffed bell peppers, plus do-it-yourself espresso drinks. Brew a pot of your favorite blend, nature's surprising superfood, and enjoy reading The Healing Powers of Coffee. Available now at your favorite bookseller.
Hi, my name is Randy Churko, and I'm the co-author of the Indie Band Survival Guide here at the Chicago Creative Expo, which is taking place at the Chicago Cultural Center. And let me tell you, it's incredible to see how much creativity is going on in Chicago, both in music, in art, in theater, in all kinds of different areas. And I've been very happy to talk to you here on the Authors Broadcast about the Indie Band Survival Guide, and it's a book that came out of a very organic place, actually. My band has released 20 albums, we've licensed music to Disney, written music for TV shows, played at Second City, and what we found as we were just talking about this with other bands is that there are no books out there that really told us the practicalities of how to succeed on our own. So we just released it ourselves as a PDF for free from our website. And the amazing thing is, don't let anybody tell you that just releasing something for free is going to actually reduce its commercial value. And in fact, what happened is it exploded. The blogosphere wrote about it. Next thing I know, Billboard magazine wrote an article about it. The Associated Press wrote an article about it. And then an agent contacted us out of nowhere and asked us to actually write a book. Now, the thing is, the kind of questions that this book answers if you're a musician is, for example, what to do when you release an album. I mean, a lot of people are concerned, for example, about copyright. There are 7 registrations you should do every time you do a new release. And if you do any less than those 7, you're actually leaving money on the table or leaving yourself unprotected. So we answer questions like that. We answer questions like how to get PR, how to do a marketing plan, how to handle all of the aspects of copyright that you need to lock down, trademark, all of these things. And of course, more than anything else, it's very important to establish a brand. And I know most musicians don't do that, but the thing you have to remember is you'll never meet most of the fans that will ever listen to your music. So the name of the book is the Indie Band Survival Guide. It just actually came out as a second edition in September of 2012, just recently, actually after having 7 printings in the first edition. And if you happen to be in Europe, you can pick up the DIY music manual, which is from Random House. Both are with major publishers, so you can find it in fine bookstores everywhere, or on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, or anywhere else that you like to buy books.
Hey, check out 11radio.com online to hear the latest tunes from independent musicians and learn what's happening in the world of indie music. 11radio.com on your internet dial.
Millions of dollars are missing. Several partners are dead, and one man is determined to solve the mystery and save his company. But who can he trust? The world of high finance is a jungle where the naive will be eaten alive. The Tipping Point is a story of greed, complicity, fraud, then ultimately resurrection and restoration. From the slopes of a luxury ski resort to corporate boardrooms, the story turns even more deadly in a steamy Caribbean hotel suite, sending everyone involved scrambling for a safe haven. A culture of corporate cannibals has the remaining partners running for their lives, while the SEC and FBI try to piece together the facts of a conspiracy far bigger than anyone could have imagined. Full of action, adventure, romance, and intrigue. Assassination, suicide, and financial ruin are the tipping point.
Keating heard a popping sound over the noise of the radio and instantly felt the car swerve left across the double yellow lines. The Porsche began to fishtail. Black ice caught the car when the left front tire had blown. He fought to keep control, but he had been hitting 70 and was losing the fight. He overcorrected, heading for the guardrail. Jesus, please don't let this happen. With the left tire shredded, he was running on the rim and wasn't able to steer back left away from the precipice. He knew better than to hit the brakes and panic. He was on the downside of the hill and was picking up speed, or so it seemed. He chanced the brakes a light touch, just to keep the nose straight, but the road made a sharp turn left. He crashed through the rail. His vehicle was airborne. The car was free-falling through a mile of frigid air.
Author Walter Danley draws on his observations as a commercial real estate investor, plus a vivid imagination, to craft the characters and environment you will experience in The Tipping Point. Order your copy today at Amazon.com.
Hi, my name is Suzanne Sladek-Wilson. I am the author of Simple Beginnings Beading and Simple Beginnings Soldering. The books can be found at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Michaels.com, and also at your local Joann's and Hobby Lobby stores. My first book, Simple Beginnings Beading, will teach you everything you need to know to start making jewelry. I take the fear out of going down the beading aisle at your local craft store. To help you get started, I list all the types of beads, all the tools that you will need, and the simple steps with photographs on how to do it. Also, I've included in both of my books a shopping list, so that way you can ensure that you'll have everything you need when you get home to make some beautiful jewelry to show to all your family and friends. The second book grows on what you've learned on the first, Simple Beginnings Soldering. Now don't worry, you don't have to use a torch with this. This type of soldering is very similar to what they do with stained glass. And so instead you're using a soldering iron and copper foil. Again, we go through all the materials that you'll need, all the steps, and in case you need a refresher for the jewelry making, we even include those. And this also has a shopping list and lots of projects for you to be inspired from. So those are my two books, Simple Beginnings Soldering and Simple Beginnings Beading.
Hellfire and Damnation 2, the sequel to 2011's award-winning Hellfire and Damnation, is a remarkable collection of somber, noirish, flat-out scary, and altogether satisfying stories, says best-selling New York Times author John Land. He compares Connie Corcoran Wilson's work to King, Bradbury, and Philip K. Dick, saying, "Her tight, twisty tales establish her as a force to be reckoned with. The frame is once again Dante's Inferno, and the 9 circles of hell and the crimes punished there. This time there are illustrations and a From the Author section as well." Gary Bronbeck, 5-time Bram Stoker winner, agrees with John Land, saying, "Wilson surpasses her previous Hellfire and Damnation with this sequel. I really don't know how she managed to do it." The 11 short stories within Hellfire and Damnation 2 were described as superb by author Brian Pinkerton. Nate Kenyon, award-winning author of Diablo, The Order, calls Hellfire and Damnation 2 an inspiring collection, and Kenyon adds, "Don't miss it." Hellfire and Damnation 2 by Connie Corcoran Wilson is available online and at your favorite bookseller.
Hi, I'm Connie Wilson. I write under the name Connie Corcoran Wilson. I'm the author of the Hellfire and Damnation series of short stories and the Color of Evil novel series, which has a second installment, Red is for Rage. It's going to be released in paperback March 15th. It's up as an ebook already. You can get them on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, sometimes at your favorite bookstore. And I'm wearing my shirt that says, "Ask me about my book." So you can ask me about any of these books, and I hope you will check them out. The trailer that Reno Lovison is currently making. They're very wonderful trailers, and I would like to also add that this cover was designed by Vincent Chong, who did Stephen King's last cover. Excellent cover. I'm going to read you a blurb because it summarized the book. The Color of Evil is a scary, entertaining novel that deals with a young person's supernatural powers, bringing Stephen King's Carrie to mind. Wilson introduces us to Tad, a young man who can see people's auras. A haunting childhood experience has already taught him the color of evil. With first-rate writing, strong story, and believable characters, The Color of Evil is a winner, highly recommended. William F. Nolan, among others, and it is about a paranormal thriller. A young boy, it's a YA novel aimed at 18 to 24. Second novel, same character, starts out with Tad McGreevy and all the other young students at Sky High School in Cedar Falls, Iowa, and they have some horrific events to deal with in their life, and in Tad's case, if they are evil, he dreams about these events without knowing whether they are happening now, in the future. He has no predictive power necessarily, and that's kind of one of the things that is going to be defined in the second book, and then there'll be a third book, and who knows, maybe more after that. So I would suggest that you do not walk, run to your computer and order this. Order The Color of Evil and then Red is for Rage. They are available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and you can type in on the Amazon sheet Connie Corcoran, C-O-R-C-O-R-A-N, Wilson, because there's a lot of Wilsons. And then you type in the name of the book, Red is for Rage. Second book in the Color of Evil series, which has won 3 awards. And this one's doing pretty well too. Pretty interesting book. Lots of short stories organized around Dante's Inferno and the 9 Circles of Hell. So check them out.
This is a terrifying, intense story of the dark people and places that lurk just beneath the surface of seemingly normal, small-town America. Tad McGreevy dreams about evil in horrifyingly vivid detail, but doesn't know if the evil acts he witnesses in his nightmares are happening now, are in the past, or are going to occur in the future. Thankfully, he has a power that he has never revealed that will allow him to wage a battle to the death against those who would harm the ones he loves. Read The Color of Evil by Connie Corcoran Wilson.
You're watching Author Showcase!
Another Man's Treasure takes you into the dark corners and secret places of a decaying Victorian mansion, then into the troubled mind and heart of a devoted husband tortured by temptation. Feel the anguish of Ted McCormick as he struggles to resist the allure of a flirtatious woman, hungry for love from a decent man. You will share his fear and frustration as something or someone prevents him from finding the riches allegedly hidden in the mysterious mansion. You won't be disappointed. The final twist to the forbidden romance and the search for treasure will shock and surprise you. Available online, or ask for Another Man's Treasure by James V. O'Connor at your favorite local bookstore.
Hi, I'm Robert Lorzell. We're here at the Chicago Cultural Center. I'm the author of Alchemy of Bones, Chicago's Lutgert murder case of 1897. It's the true story of a murder trial that happened in Chicago in the 1890s that was a huge deal at the time, sort of the O.J. Simpson case of 1890s Chicago. And it was published by the University of Illinois Press. This is the story of the disappearance of Louisa Lutgert, a woman who was married to Adolf Lutgert, the owner of a sausage factory in Chicago. Her body was never found, and then after exhaustive search, the police charged her husband with killing her and dissolving her body inside the factory. So it became quite a puzzle as to whether a murder had even happened, an early case of forensic science in the courtroom. You can find my book, Alchemy of Bones, at all the usual booksellers like Amazon and bookstores. I will probably get the highest royalties if you order it straight from the University of Illinois Press website, or go to my website that I set up for the book, alchemyofbones.com, which has all sorts of extra information beyond what you see in the book.
Young attorney Stephen Perry has it all and is living the good life until his beautiful fiancée is killed by a drunk driver. The Siren's Call is a story of the love between friends, what we do to sustain our friendships, and sadly, what we do to destroy them. Tormented by voices in his head, Steve attempts to escape his grief by fleeing to his friend Kip's northern Lake Michigan retreat. Concerned for his friend's sanity, Kip convinces Steve to join him in Hawaii to get away from it all, while Steve attempts to deal with his grief and potentially gestating madness. But as Steve grows stronger, he begins to suspect that Kip is wrestling with his own demons that Kip refuses to reveal, stressing their relationship to the breaking point. As Kip's best friend, Steve cannot imagine neither the depth of Kip's deception nor the terrible secret he is hiding. Filled with raw emotional power and vivid images of the surrounding landscapes, The Siren's Call is an unforgettable story of two friends struggling to cope with profound grief the best way they know how, as they try to make sense out of a senseless personal tragedy. The Sirens are calling. Get your copy today. An aged widower with an acute awareness of his own mental decline is being moved across country at his daughter's insistence. Instead of flying, he chooses to join his grandson on a 3,000-mile road trip that includes daily readings to an urn of ashes, and for the two travelers becomes a spiritual journey of self-discovery and harsh realities. A must-read roller coaster of emotions, a cathartic tale of spiritual alignment and personal growth. Reading to Jane is an amazing story of loss and grief and the recovery that accompanies it. A fast read that is thought-provoking, funny, heartwarming, and uncannily familiar. The reader becomes part of the family, going along for a physical and symbolic journey with unlikely companions, each with their own tragic past. En route at campgrounds and rest stops, the cross-country travelers meet several colorful characters and eventually befriend a woman who is coping with an unspeakable tragedy that causes her to question her most deeply held beliefs. Her growing anger ultimately forces her to confront the demons of her past. Reading to Jane combines the reality of aging, the brashness of youth, the stigma of societal outcasts, and the turmoil of loss into an intricately woven three-part adventure. Will Mary be consumed by her rage, or will she find a way out of the darkness? Mary and her unlikely companions come together in an unforgettable conclusion that contains all the surprises, humor, and warmth that author Carol Marshall is known for. You can read this novel simply for the pleasure of its wonderful story and unique collection of bizarre yet relatable characters. But each of the characters in Reading to Jane has something to teach us. This book is a journey to a meaningful existence and can point you in the direction of a more joyful and harmonious way to live. You won't want to miss Reading to Jane, available at Amazon.com.
Hi, I'm Juan Carlos Hernandez. I'm a writer from Chicago, and I'm doing a Kickstarter campaign to publish my first novel. I've been working on it for about 6 years now, and it's come a long way since the first draft, and I'm ready to put it out there. And that's why I'm doing the Kickstarter campaign. If you don't know what Kickstarter is, it's an online funding platform for creative projects. It could be cooking, it could be a movie, it could be a comic book. In my case, it's a novel. So I'm reaching out far and wide to people from across the country, and actually in Spain and into Europe and down into Mexico, to look for support for publishing this novel. It's called Lost and Found on the Camino De Santiago, and it's a love story of Miguel, who loses the love of his life and then travels to the Camino de Santiago a year later to continue the healing. And he meets a lot of friends, guides, messengers, and he also meets a new love, Anna from Brazil. But they're unsure about what to do, whether to step into a new relationship or not. So they're trying to figure it all out. It's a love story, it's a travelogue, it's also a kind of, I guess, a history guide as well. The Camino de Santiago is an ancient pilgrimage trail along northern Spain, from the Pyrenees to Santiago de Compostela in Galicia, which is the northwest corner of Spain, and it's over 1,000 years old. Its peak was during the Middle Ages, and then people stopped doing it for a long time, or not many people did it, and now it's coming back to life. People from all over the world are walking there, or actually flying to Spain to do this walk to Santiago de Compostela, where the remains of St. James are said to rest, but that's all legend. More than anything, it's a place for people who are trying to remake their lives. So if you back me, you're going to help a great book come to life, and you'll help a new Chicago writer publish his first novel.
Hi, I'm Maureen Sullivan. I'm the author of the new Images of America Bridgeport book by Arcadia. You're watching Authors Showcase.
We're anxious to hear from our Authors Showcase viewers. Visit authorsbroadcast.com/TV to leave a comment. Your feedback is important to us. We want to know what you think about the show, and if there's any specific information you would like us to include. We produce a new Authors Showcase episode every month, and your comments and suggestions may be used in a future episode. So visit us online at authorsbroadcast.com/TV. Richard Damien's book, A Monk in the World, Fully Being Your Spiritual Self in Life, makes practical sense of the nexus between spirit and matter. Damien teaches his readers how to live a joyous life while rising above the noise and chaos of the temporal world. This is not a book you read through, it is a message that you live. Transformational energy healer and spiritual coach Richard Damien has a gift for taking profound spiritual insights and bringing them to reality. A Monk in the World is the perfect guide for anyone searching for a path toward greater peace and enlightenment, or for those already on the journey. Are you successful in every area of your life, but feel unlucky in love? You can have that wonderful relationship you've been dreaming of and still thrive in your professional life. In fact, having the relationship of your dreams may actually catapult your career to the next level. For years, authors Jennifer Wilkoff and Kimberly Mills were both on the fast track and climbing the corporate ladder. Jen and Kim achieved great success, received professional accolades and recognition, but did not have that special someone to share it with. Realizing many of their friends were in the same boat, they thought, how could so many women have great careers but not have the great love of their lives too? Why was this eluding them? Convinced that something needed to be done, they set out to find the answer and the men of their dreams. The great news is Kimberly and Jennifer have cracked the code and reveal everything they've learned in their book, Boys Before Business, The Single Girl's Guide to Having It All. Available wherever books are sold.
My name is Jacob Singer. I write for Anobium and Handshake, and you're watching Authors Showcase.
In today's fast-paced business environment, people want to know as quickly as possible what your website is about and how you can help them solve their problems. A fast show and tell will keep visitors on your site longer and help them better understand your product or service. What keeps many small and mid-sized companies from including video is fear of production. You may not be sure what to say. Do I need to be on camera? Do we need to hire a production company? Well, the answer is not necessarily. There are unlimited ways to tell a story. Reno Lovison Marketing specializes in non-video video production. We use voiceover, music, photos, motion graphics, and screenshots to give your web visitors a quick tour of your site. Our goal is to take about a minute to assure your visitors that they're in the right place, let them know what you do, and give them some quick hints on how to navigate your site so they can easily find the information they seek. No need to have a talking head. No need for a full day of on-site video production. Just a simple phone conference and review of your website is usually all we need. Don't put it off any longer. Email us today and we'll show you how to get started with a quick, economical video that will help convert visitors into customers.
About 250 miles north of Chicago, Door County is Wisconsin's premier vacation destination, offering visitors of all ages outdoor fun combined with great food, performing arts, shopping, and of course, natural beauty. DoorCountyNavigator.com will help you find the perfect place to stay, play, and dine, providing all the resources you'll need to plan your trip. Be in the know before you go. To learn more about Door County, tune into A Peek Inside the Door, seen weekly on Chicago Cable, Channel 25.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ray Bovin.
I'm Dr. Edgardo Vargas.
We opened this practice hoping to bring natural health care and improved health to our community. We met each other in chiropractic school back in 2003 and decided to open a practice together.
We understand pain. We've been dealing with pain for many years. If you suffer from neck pain, back pain, headaches, or any other type of pain, please contact us for a free consultation.
The best thing about our practice is that we have an integrated care model. We have medical doctors, chiropractic physicians, massage therapists, acupuncturists, and we use an integrated approach to bring you the most comprehensive health care that you can in the most natural way possible. We're located in the Lincoln Square neighborhood, 4750 North Rockwell Street, right near the corner of Lawrence and Rockwell, and about 2 blocks north of the Rockwell Brown Line station.
Hi Shelley, this is Maria from Proactive Care. I'm calling to remind you about your appointment for Monday at 2:15.